And welcome to the Writer's Life, a place where you get the sight, sound, smells, taste of my particular writer's life, and where you get the truth about the writer's life. This is like a new collection of writing essays that goes with this. It's the companion, and this is a galley proof, but you can buy the paperback now, and it's the companion to the YouTube, The Writer's Life. Check it out. I mean, a lot of good information in here. Subscribe if you haven't already. Punch the bell or punch the like button and tap the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on one single exciting video and how exciting they are. So, like the thumbnail suggests, I'm going to talk about perseverance a little bit. I've been doing this nearly 25 years full time. And aside from I think two times where I went back to work for my dad for like a few months at a time. The last time he just fired me. He was like, "You suck. Go. You're a writer. Go be a writer. You'll figure it out." So aside from those few months, I've been doing this full time for 25 years. So, and in that time, you wouldn't believe the amount of writers I've seen come and go, the amount of editors I've seen come and go, the agents I've seen come and go, publishing houses I've seen come and go, big and small, publicists. I mean, you name it. I mean, anything having bookstores, of course, have, there's only like half the amount of bookstores left, I think, maybe less. Online platforms have gone, some of them. Of course, Amazon still remains the big enchilada. I'm already thinking about taco night tomorrow night at one of my favorite watering holes. Anyway, I'm trying not to smile so you don't see the missing tooth. That's gonna be repaired soon, I promise. Anyway, so why have I stayed in the game? I've always found a way to persevere. In other words, I've always found a way to survive in the game. What those two times I went back to work for my dad, and this is after having achieved some significant success, like a mid-six-figure deal, major deal. Is because I was desperate. Maybe I think at the time, my second wife and I had like a new baby, and I have this problem. Like, I just don't listen. I just go with the flow, and I'm always in my own little writer's world. And like suddenly, I made this huge mistake. Two mistakes actually. With wife number two, I never really wanted to get married again. And I never wanted to buy a big house and all that. I wanted us to be, live simply and be mobile or whatever. The baby was a good thing, that's a great thing. But I was always conscious of money coming in or whatever. And at that time, this was like 2002, where it was before indie publishing, where you could start your own business and make money doing that. This is where you still had to depend on, sending your stuff out to an agent, and hopefully the agent is going to find an editor who likes it and wants to sell it and all that sort of crap. And like, nothing was happening. I wasn't getting any contracts. So, it was like, Vince got to go back to work for a little bit. But like I said, it only lasted a few months, and I was like right back in the writer's chair. But luckily for me, I've always been able to mix the fiction with journalism and or freelance writing. And so I had made another mistake early on in my career where I had freelance clients, and I gave them all up when I got my first fiction deal because I was very young and very stupid. And for a time, like I had a lot of money, which I blew, most of it on a divorce. Um, and I was just like, I just assumed I was going to get like a mid six figure deal every year, maybe every 2 years. And it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. In fact, now it's impossible. Nowadays, if you want to make a living writing fiction, you got to have an indie presence, like a strong indie presence. But anyway, that's not what this is about. Well, it's partially about that, but so it took me some time to like build up a new freelance client base, and by that I mean I didn't want to take on clients where I was going to find myself like writing, you know, uh, nonfiction like 80% of the day, and then maybe have an hour left over to write some fiction. I had to find like perfect clients, the perfect magazines or the perfect outlets that would allow me to maybe write nonfiction like an hour a day, but it had to be lucrative as well. And I found a few of those. So, and I've always hung on to them. And the general rule is those are called bread and butter accounts, by the way. In other words, they pay like the rent. They pay like the rent and a few bills, maybe that kind of thing. And they keep you sharp too. They keep you sharp in terms of being a reporter or a journalist or whatever. Um, but the general rule is dismiss those opportunities at your peril. And I did that once, and you know, I find myself in deep shit. So now, in this day and age, people are still dropping out because they're like, well, I'm not making nearly the money I used to make 5 years ago in the indie world, so I'm going to go off and do something else, whatever. Um, I know of one guy. I'm not going to mention his name, but he's been really good to me, a mentor for me, and he's had like 2 major motion pictures made from his books, and he went back to his day job. He's still writing, he's still publishing, but he went back to his day job. That's how difficult this can be at times. But there's tons of opportunities out there. You can start a Substack page. You can do Kickstarter programs. I actually want to get into Kickstarter. The problem I'm having with it is I'm so busy writing material and doing stuff like this or whatever that I just haven't had the time to really give it my entire attention. But I'm going to try. I am going to try. I'm going to try to get something up and going within a couple of months after I get back from Egypt, probably. Because Kickstarter is like a new publishing platform. So, and a lot of readers go there to see what's available. And maybe, you can make a few bucks. Who knows? In any case, it's just an example of like, say it does work out for me. It'll be another means of survival for I don't know how many years, maybe 5 years, something like that. And when that's gone, something else will come along. You just have to figure out a way to weather the storms. For me, also, it's being prolific and being able to put out a novel or 2 novellas per month. And again, the rule applies: more books, more money. Somebody's chimed in. Wayne, hey Wayne. I was the first writer to review The One with Two Faces. All right, Wayne. Can't wait to see it. That's Wayne Berner. He helps me with my editing. Good guy. And smart. Very smart guy. Wayne, how many books do you read a day? Guy reads like 3 books a day. It's unbelievable. I have trouble getting through a book a month. I'm a slow reader. I also think I'm dyslexic. But that's for another YouTube vid, podcast, whatever you want to call this. All right. So that's all I got for you today. Thanks for chiming in, Wayne. And I will talk to you guys hopefully on a nicer day tomorrow. All right. Ciao, ciao.